Strength through will is how we can reverse the perversion of values that have been instilled in you, in me, and all our brethren, insidiously through generations of ancestral oppression. Though it stood with as much superhuman endurance as anyone could, it left a deep impression. Invisible scars that have caused us to devolve into a state of unconsciousness so malignant, we've nearly forgotten we're not a problem to be solved. We always been the solution they seek to dissolve, with the illusion of ties that bind us to a system that blinds, of most vicious design, which is to free no man. Only together, through sharing of wisdom, can we heal the wounds of division, forever sealing that evil incision, and finally deprogram.
It's unobservable, untouchable. That's why you look up there and see so much black. The majority of everything in creation is not what we call matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Like, I was watching, because when I interview somebody, I try to study their past work. So I got a song myself where I say, we went from whips and chains to whips and chains. They took it off our body, put it on our brain. And I was watching one of your interviews, and it led me to a song that you got called Whips and Chains. And I was like, I don't believe in coincidence. I was like, wow, that's deep. Because I'm speaking on how I said it in a line, and you made a song about basically, all right, when we were slaves, we was on this trip where they whooping us and putting us in chains. Now we want to get this car and we get this whip, and then we want to put chains around our neck, and we get enslaved to that.
Right. See, the chains that used to be iron and steel is now socio-economic. They went from physical chain to the mental chain, which actually is more powerful, just like I was just saying. Matter. It's easier to break an iron chain than it is to break a mental chain.
Yeah.
Because a mental chain, I ain't got to put no length on it. I ain't got to worry about no that shit. You can go all over the world, nigga. You can go to Alpha Centauri. If you're a slave right here, you're gonna be a slave no matter how far you go. I don't have to keep you locked up no more. And I'm gonna show you. So you can take an elephant, which is a very intelligent animal, which is very strong. Chain him up where he can't break loose. Once you break his spirit, you can tie a shoestring around his leg and he'll think he can't break it. Once he accepts that he can't break that chain and he can't get it loose, you can take the chain off of him and just tie a real thin little goddamn string around him and he won't even try to break it. Because he doesn't accept it. He done accepted his bondage. You see what I'm saying? And once we accepted our bondage and started accepting and started actually believing in the lies that we were told that we was a subspecies or that we wasn't as good as crackers or whatever it was, you know what I'm saying? We then gave up our freedom. See, you can't actually be enslaved. You can't actually be incarcerated. You can only imprison or enslave yourself, because the only prison is the prison of the mind. The body is already, you was in prison from the day you was born if you're thinking only in the material. Because you can't fly, you can't motherfucking breathe underwater, you can't do nothing, you know what I'm saying? But your thoughts can go anywhere. Your thoughts transcend space and time. You got memories. I can go back in time in my memory, all that shit. There's a lot of shit you can't do physically, that spiritually and mentally, you can do anything. So once your spirit and your mind is enslaved and chained, then that's true imprisonment. You know what I'm saying?
And what?
Because there's no actual true freedom of the physical in the first place, because you're bound by physical laws. But when it comes down to your mind, anything is possible. But once anything is not possible in your mind no more, they got you there.
And you know what helped me? I'm gonna tell you what helped me realize that, man. I was 23 years old, bro. I had never been in no trouble at all. Then I went to jail and I had to sit down for like 4 months. So I'm slowing down and I'm just thinking. And
you start hearing that universe.
And it dawned on me. I said, man, I was locked up out there. So I was like, man, and I tell people, I said, bro, it took for me to go to jail to really become free.
Hey man, I tell cats all the time, it's cats in prison more free than any nigga on the street.
And
Matter of fact, a lot of them didn't even become free until they got there.
And that happened to me personally. And I was like, cause everything slowed down and you like, okay. Cause when you on the street.
Hey man, George Clinton say free your mind and the rest will follow.
And I had to understand that. And I'm like, so why y'all, so now in the world, it's like everything jumping around. And it's like I'm in the Matrix and everything's slow motion.
Yeah.
And I'm
like, they call it freedom. The only way to be free is to be free from being dumb. Free the dumb. You know what I'm saying?
But like being in a mental capacity, and it's like you spoke of earlier, you want people to be free, but it's really on them.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I be like, man,
it's like I look at words all the time, like the word knowledge. The two words that make up that word, know and ledge. Right? A ledge is what? The edge or something that you can fall off of to your doom. If you know that, you won't fall off of it. So knowledge keeps you from falling off the ledge. You know what I'm saying? If you know the ledge, like Rakim said, then you know how far to go. You know you know how to navigate. You know what to do. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't know the ledge, you're gonna walk right over that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And fall off the mountain and bust your ass. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say that's what I be meaning when I say things are simple. A lot of times we just, like you say, sit down, take time to smell the roses, as they say, relax, get quiet, and the answers just roll in. When I was a kid, I was a nosy motherfucker. I want to know everything work, take TV for it. I just sit there. I can never go to sleep. I sit there 30, 45 minutes, just look up at the ceiling while I'm sleeping and wonder about things. You know what I'm saying? Even now, I like to, before I Google shit and all that shit, I try to logically and critically think of it in my brain. And then I go look it up and see how close I can. You'd be amazed at how close you can come to the way things are without looking first. See, this shit they got for us, a smartphone can make a dumb person. When it gets to the point where you got down the phone in your pocket is smarter than you is, you fuck it up.
You in trouble.
Yeah. See, ain't nothing wrong with the tool. But that's what it is. Don't allow the tool to replace the tool that made the tool. You use your brain to make the phone and then let the phone surpass your brain. Come on now.
That's just like.
And then 1,000 years later, we don't even know how these shit's made no more. They still making them because we don't make them no more. Computers making them. And now we don't even know how to fix it, make it. That shit want to turn against us or whatever. Then you little Terminator situation or every other sci-fi movie we done seen.
That's just like I was
watching. A lot of people want to laugh at that and say, oh, that nigga crazy. Yeah, okay.
Until you sit down and really examine it, you like, man, this makes sense.
Yeah, they got cars that could not run over shit in the street and stop and help keep it lane. Look up and see how many people have been killed by one of them cars. The dude that played on the Star Trek movie, he died. He got pinned against his mailbox by one of them cars.
Malfunction.
When they first, way back when I was a kid, they made the cars that could, stop on their own and all that shit. They tried that shit way back then. The motherfucker were running niggas over when they walked past them and all that because it was a glitch in the program. In other words, ain't that perfect, but the same way you can have crazy ass people in society that their shit is not working the way the majority of everybody else working. You got to, filter them out. You can also have machines that malfunction. So when the more responsibility you put on those machines, the more ability there is for malfunction to be something more critical. In other words, if some shit has a sensor where it can stop and go on its own, then what if that shit get reversed and it go when it's supposed to be stopping? So when you walk in front of it, they run your ass over instead of stopping. I ain't saying that that's what happen all the time, but my point is that can happen. So how do we know that can't happen on a bigger scale? You know what I'm saying? It's people that done been killed by things that were supposed to save them, seatbelts and everything else. Now that doesn't mean that those things aren't important or those things. But what I'm saying is we don't know everything. We don't have supreme knowledge. So when we start getting arrogant and moving too fast and relinquishing responsibility because we think it's menial and shit that we don't have to be worried about no more, we better make damn sure that we have a full understanding enough of it to the point where we can pass that on. You know what I'm saying? You don't hand a baby a pistol.
Hell no.
He got the hand to pull he can pull the trigger, but that don't mean he supposed to have a gun. You know what I'm saying? The same thing. We got nuclear weapons and all of that shit. Just because we smart enough mathematically and scientifically to make it, just because we can doesn't mean we should, because we might not be spiritually, emotionally, psychologically evolved enough to be responsible with that kind of power. Because if we were, it wouldn't be a nuclear weapon. It would be a nuclear solution. It would be a solution to a problem, not something that you just take and make a big, something you can kill somebody with. If you can't handle guns, what make you think you can handle nuclear missiles? If you can't handle nuclear missiles, what make you think you can handle a fucking Death Star? Or, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because what happened is they'll take something that was meant. So when Einstein wrote theory of relativity, his image in his mind was to further mankind, usher them into an era of peace and no disease and no war, no hunger, not to make a greater weapon of war. He wrote a letter and said, please do not use my theories to make war. You know what I'm saying?
And
that's why he went on the Manhattan Project.
And what's it
called? On the Manhattan Project. What, theory of relativity?
Okay.
Equals MC squared. That's why they nuclear weapons wouldn't be possible without theory of relativity. Einstein wrote that. Energy equals mass times the speed of light squared. Simple as that. A little 2-inch equation that explains almost everything in the universe except for the quantum level. That's special relativity. But my point is, general relativity is what they used on the Manhattan Project to make nuclear weapons. The reason Einstein, he was alive, the reason he didn't get on that project is because he didn't want them to be able to make nuclear weapons. But they took his theory that could have been used to end hunger to make war. The same way nigga take a gun that was invented for protection or to hunt an animal to feed your family to go out and make war. You know what I'm saying? A knife, that's a tool. War. Everything that we use to advance ourselves as a tool has been used in a negative way also. I could take a hammer and beat a nigga in the head with it, but that ain't why they made hammers. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, man. See,
it's not the tool that's good or bad. It's how you use the implementation of the tool. It's the user.
Yeah. I
got this shit where I say why we teach our kids to hate the gun and embrace the shooter. You're supposed to love, no matter what, you learn it's all love. But then they say, but we hate guns though. How you gonna hate a gun? A gun ain't never did nothing to nobody. This motherfucker that picked it up and pulled that trigger. See? So you know what I'm saying? The first murder, I guarantee you, wasn't with no gun. It was with bare hands. I guarantee you that. The first time a human being killed another human being, bare hands. So if you want to kill, we don't need a weapon because the weapon is here. This is all you need is the will to kill and enough brain power to think of a way to do it. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you make a tool that makes life easier, it also makes death easier. If you want to use it in the wrong way. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you this, cuz like I think we have similar thought processes. Like when I watch something, like, have you ever seen Eddie Griffin? What is it? Freedom of Speech?
I probably have. I've seen a lot of his shit.
Like
I probably seen that one.
Eddie Griffin, he was breaking down like how things are in this country. And he made me recognize something. He broke down police, he broke down television. And I was like, and I looked at it deep. I was like, man, because if you look at the function, I tell people this, police paid for is really poor lease. They just, like you say, they trying to twist it. Paid for by the rich, leased out to the poor. Cause
well, you don't see police patrolling rich neighborhoods. They come when they get called. Police supposed to protect and serve. You're not supposed to come until I call you. You know, for police not supposed to have an undercover operation where they trick a nigga into doing something, talking into it, and then lock him up for it. I'll show you something else too. There was no such thing as police before the end of slavery.
Oh,
they had sheriffs, they had law enforcement and all that. The police force in this country is literally an organization that was put together to keep niggas in line once they freed us from slavery. They took the overseer and made him to an officer.
I'm glad you said that, because I've been telling dudes that I told a dude, brother, police was really the slave patrol.
Yeah. When niggas they want to make sure that niggas, you know, keep niggas in line. That's why they ride around poor neighborhoods and shit, keep you in line. You don't see, go to a rich neighborhood. You don't just see the police riding through their streets, bro. If you see a police come down the street in a rich neighborhood, somebody called them. Alarm went off, something like that. In poor neighborhood, they just ride that bitch. Let you see them. It's just a game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They using intimidation and shit. To protect and serve is not to intimidate and oppress. You know what I'm saying? It's two different. That's two different shit. You know what I'm saying? See, it's like the mob. You pay them for protection. Who you paying them for protection from? Us, nigga. If you don't pay us, we gonna fuck your shit up. But we ain't gonna let nobody else fuck you up, and we won't fuck you up if you pay us. You know what I'm saying? The police, the way they're not protecting us. They say to protect and serve. Yeah, to protect other motherfuckers that they serve. You know what I'm saying? Not your ass. You know what I'm saying? If they riding around your hood and ain't nobody called them, you're not the ones that the protect and serve is talking about. You know what I'm saying?
And like I explained to this dude on one of my,
and that's not saying nothing bad against police as individuals.
Yeah,
I have them in my family. You know, a lot of them good people. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Most police are good people. Most of them got into it to do just that. But what happens in a system is once you become part of it, it's an indoctrination process, you know, and then it's a brotherhood on top of that. It's just like being in a fraternity. You know what I'm saying? If I go to court, goddamn, and if I'm a Mason and goddamn judge and Mason and we got our secret shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get off on that shit. Give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because we brothers first. You know what I'm saying? You seen Rosewood? You know what I'm saying? Look, if police, when you black, white, Chinese, Mexican, that blue come first, bro. They got to be down with each other first, or else the whole shit don't work. And people say, we got to fix this. We need to fix the system. We need to fix, you can't fix something that ain't broke. Our system is not broken. It works the way it's designed to work. You can't fix it. You either have to change it to a different system or accept the system as it is, because this system is not broken. It works as it was designed to. It works perfectly. It's extremely successful. This is how they meant for it to be. The only way to fix what's wrong in the world is to change the system to a better system. But if we're gonna use this system, ain't no fixing the system, because you can't fix it if it ain't broke. It's not broken. There's nothing wrong with the American our system, the way our society in America. There's nothing wrong with it as far as the function of how it was designed to work. If you're talking about wrong in a moral fashion, that's a different discussion. But I'm talking about as far as, oh, it don't work. Justice, yes, it do. That's how justice system was designed. Well, this system, yes, it do. It was designed to work like that. You just don't. They just lied to you about how it was designed, but it works exactly as it's supposed to. If you want to change it, fine, but you can't keep fixing a house that got a fucked up foundation, unless you want to just keep patching up the same bullshit. Because I don't care how good you make that house look, it's a bullshit house if the foundation's bullshit. The foundation is bullshit. So everything on top of it is gonna be bullshit. You have to go down to the foundation of our system, get that shit up out of there, relay the foundation, and then you build from there. Other than that, we're not gonna solve the problems that we have by stacking more on top of the foundation that it started with bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we can't change it. We can change it, but you can't fix it because it's not broke. If that makes any sense.
It makes perfect sense. And I'm glad you said that, because when I talk to people, like, dude, I was talking to a guy, he was like, not understanding the system. And that's why I brought it up in the interview. I was like, bro, do you even understand the function of the police?
Mm-hmm.
Like, people get mad when they beat up certain folks. Bro, that's what it's designed to do. They don't care nothing about you, bro. I said,
it's like you get mad about you show up to a football game with a baseball uniform on and they won't let you play and you get mad. Nigga, you got on a baseball uniform. You're not ready for football. You obviously don't know what we're doing out here. We playing football. So if you want to play this game, you got to play within the rules of the game or you're going to face a penalty. You got to wear the right shit. You got to look the right way. You got to act the right way. You got to play the right way. This system is like a game. You have to play within the rules of the system and know the ins and outs of the game to be successful at it. You know what I'm saying? If you try to go outside the rules, you're going to face a penalty or not be allowed to play. You're going to get ejected or you're going to face a penalty. That's period. So if you come into America and you don't want to play ball, then they got somewhere for you. Then you got to sit in the stands or get ejected out the stadium. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you want to be a power player, if you want to be a star player, then you got to play by those rules. And if playing by those rules mean you have to sell yourself out as a person, then you have to make a decision whether you can accept that or not. If you can accept it, then you can be a star player. If you can't accept it, then you can't. But until you play in a different game, you got to play by the rules of that game or don't play it. It's like if you don't like football, if you don't like the rules of football, then you just can't play until they change the rules. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how they play it. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't like the rules of America, you can't play the American game until they change them. But if enough people don't like the rules and enough motherfuckers stop buying tickets and paying the motherfuckers to watch them play, then they have no choice but to change it.
I'm glad you said that because people say, well, I don't like how it's done. I don't like how it's done. But you steady buy the tickets, as you say.
Yeah.
You steady.
A commentary on the deficiency of something without offering up possible solutions or possible ways of improving is called complaining. When you just complaining and you ain't offering up no type of solution to do nothing about it, then you might as well just shut the fuck up because we all know the shit ain't right. But okay, it ain't right. What can we do? Okay, well, you just wasting time. And what you got to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to get everybody attention and say, well, this is some fucked up shit, your next statement need to be how we can make it less fucked up. If you ain't got no idea, I ain't saying you got a solution all by yourself, but if you have no ideas and you just want to comment on it being bad, then you're part of the problem. Because it ain't but two. It's part of the problem, part of the solution. It's a problem. You got an equal sign. Problem, solution. You can only be part of one of the numbers and the letters that's in that mathematical equation. You can only either be part of the problem or the solution. You know what I'm saying? Simple. And the solution to any problem is to make it balanced. The equal sign means that we want to end up with the same thing on this side that's on this side. In other words, 5 plus 3 equals 8. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's just that 5 plus 3 is cumbersome. You can just say 8. The same way you can just say 1/2 instead of 8/16. That's all it is. Yeah. Solution literally means solo. It's right at the beginning of it. 1. There's plenty of answers. There's plenty of reactions. But there's only one solution. To any problem, there's one solution. That's why it's called a solution. Ain't no 2 solutions. You know what I'm saying? It's got solo right at the beginning of it for a reason. That's why when you make a solution in chemistry, it's taking several things and putting them together and making one thing. Water is a solution. Kool-Aid is a solution. Gasoline, anything you got that's made out of more than one thing and put it together, that's a solution. You see what I'm saying? You took several things, you made something, whatever it was you needed, that one thing you needed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that be my thing. Like I be looking at, and then I believe a lot of stuff, even like the word solution, a lot of things is broke down right before our eyes if we just pay attention, be like,
See how many niggas you think talking about we need an answer? No, we don't. We need a solution. You can add me what color is the sky? And I can say gravy. That's an answer. But is that helping you? That got shit to do with what you said. An answer just means a response. That's all answer means. Solution literally means to equalize, whatever the problem is, to equalize that on the other side. So that two equal things cancel each other out. So we did have no problem. See, the solution cancels the problem out. That's the point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I be one of my things is, it's just me. I be like, bruh, while y'all looking to them or looking to the system, the very thing that they have, you can look and see how it functions. And like you said, it's working. So why can't we just, okay, we can do the same thing.
I got this shit where I say everything you need, don't look without for what's already within. Everything you need is in your toolbox. You just got to open it. See, we got the skills and the ability to do whatever we want to do because we people, just like anybody else that done did anything else. Ain't nobody came before us had more than we had as far as ability, tools, knowledge. They got 2 hands, 2 legs, a brain. You got a spirit, you got a mind. You know what I'm saying? People, that's all people have ever had. Everything else that they got came from that. They didn't get it from some magical goddamn manifestation. They got it from within. So whatever you want is within. It's just that you have to goddamn be able to look in there and get it. You know what I'm saying? But if you're looking outside for some shit that's in the house, you're never gonna find it because the shit is in the house. If you're trying to find your key and your key's in the kitchen, but you never look in the kitchen, you'll never find your keys.
God, they gonna be in the kitchen.
Now, from the process of elimination, eventually you might look in the kitchen. But if you know they in the kitchen and you won't go in there and look, then that's just ignorant. You're ignoring the fact that you already know where they're at. You're ignoring that, but you're gonna go outside and look for some shit that you know ain't out there. But motherfuckers say, well, I ain't been nowhere but in 3 rooms. I know I had my key. I've been in 3 rooms. What the fuck is you looking outside for? What the fuck is you calling? You drove your car home. What the fuck is you calling the club? Somebody I leave my key. You drove home. Why would you look somewhere you haven't even physically been? See, that's ignorance. That's what I'm talking about. That's stupid. That's the belief in all the, you believe in magic and shit. But what you do is you say, well, I ain't been in 3 places. You concentrate your efforts to them 3 places. And then you find a solution. So this right here is your kingdom. This is your mind, your universe right here. Anything you need and want, the solution to it can be found there. You know what I'm saying? And then when you come together with others, that makes that even more powerful because we all one. And we can help each other find solutions and we can go by. Everybody's life is different, but examples of other people's lives, and the more information you get, we start coming with solutions and different systems and ways that can help the whole as opposed to just the one. You know what I'm saying? You gotta help yourself first, and then you can help more, and then more can help more, and then that helps the whole. But if you can't help yourself, you can't help no goddamn body. You know what I'm saying? And if you hurt other people, you're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
It comes down to acceptance. It comes down to knowing, understanding, accepting, and believing it. You know what I'm saying? If you can't do them things, there's gonna be a lot of problems you're gonna run into that you can't overcome. It ain't nothing wrong with problems, ain't nothing wrong with adversity, ain't nothing wrong with resistance because that builds strength. I'm a 300-pound nigga. I look like going to the gym lifting 5 pounds. If I want to get strong, I got to go in no pain, no gain. You don't want to be weak, but at the same time, you don't want to be foolish. You know what I'm saying? You can't weigh 150 pounds going down there your first time you ever lift weight, think you're finishing that 300 pounds off the goddamn ball. You leave your arms behind, you know what I'm saying? But you can work your way up to the 300.
Yeah.
Or you can move to 300 right now. 2 or 3 niggas need to move to 300 pounds. 3 or 4 of us move. You know what I'm saying? Working together. So it ain't all about instant gratification, but things can happen faster if we work together. You can accomplish the same thing by yourself. It might take more time, but more people together on the same accord can accomplish that same task. You know what I'm saying? So we got to understand and use both of these. Like I say, 10 double A's can accomplish what 2 what one D battery can accomplish. You know what I'm saying? But you can't find a D battery, so fuck it. I'm put 10 double A's in there until I find D battery. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing.
So yeah, same thing. So sometimes if you need to accomplish something now, it might take more than you to accomplish it. If you got time, you might have time to make what you can accomplish on your own. But the whole point is, it's still working towards the same solution, which is to make all of us stronger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And once all of us become a D battery, then we you know what I'm saying, together, we unstoppable at that point.
Yeah, man. Man, I'm gonna definitely have to get you back on there, man, because it's like
no problem, bro. Yeah.
Cause
I'm finna go. I smell it out my girl in there cooking. I'm finna go in and tear it down, boy. I smell it coming through the door.
I feel you, man. Man, this been the Deprogram Show. I'm your host, RMJR. We got Big Rube from the Dungeon family, and we out.
Yes, sir. The program is the program.